Hello, this is an episode of Just Turn Heel. We're at location. We're with
Eddie Grayson.
we're just at the show at the Wrestlepunkz, and he's one of the youngest superstars. So right away, I'm going to ask you the question: what got you involved in wrestling?
So I always kind of was into it as a kid. My dad introduced me into it, and he actually knew a guy who is my trainer now. His name is Steve Boz. He knew him kind of just from going to the shows, and like my dad would take me. I was very into it and wanted to start as soon as I could. He always told me my whole life, once you turn 16, you can do it, and that's what happened, and here we are now. And yeah, that's how I got into it.
Bulldog and Eddie Grayson.
What wrestlers would you say influenced you? Like, what kind of wrestlers that you want to emulate?
It's hard because I like all kinds of styles of wrestling. Like, I love characters and I also love in-ring work. So like, I'm a big fan of Kurt Angle, Bret Hart, because they kind of had a character and like they were very good on the technical aspect and stuff like that. So those are two for sure. And now currently Will Ospreay is somebody I really look at that like I very much enjoy. So yeah, those are probably three guys that I really look up to.
Outstanding. Now, if you had, you say you have different styles, but what would you like to focus? Like, you know, with wrestling, they evolve through time. So, what kind of style would you pinpoint? What your style would be?
So another person I forgot to mention was Kevin Owens, and I kind of noticed his style is kind of what I'm leaning towards because if you notice, he does a little bit of like flippy stuff, I guess you could say. Like he does a Swanton Bomb, stuff like that, and like I like brawlers. Like I'm a big fan of Gunther right now in WWE. He's a big, yeah, Stone Cold. Yeah, like so he hits a stunner, so does Kevin Owens, like stuff like that. Like so, I just like I said, I really like all kind of styles. So like, I guess like a brawler, like that's the thing. I really don't have a style. That's kind of what, and that's what I think is kind of unique, and that's what I like about wrestling is I can do whatever I want. Like one day I can do a body slam, the next day I can do a Swanton Bomb. Like I just like all kinds of moves, dives, anything. Like I just love professional wrestling, so that's like one thing that I try to make my wrestling about is like you never know what you're gonna see from me. Like I can do any move really.
Now you're just 17, so you're one of the youngest stars in there. So like the wrestlers like Nick Wayne, the Prodigy, and all that. So you're breaking ground that way. So what would he say? Okay, this is a two-part question. Your Mount Rushmore and the Mount Rushmore, like the professional wrestlers would have picked as their Mount Rushmore. Like your personal favorite, and one like you said, this is the standard where all these wrestlers should be on the Mount Rushmore.
Okay. See, this is a question that I kind of like find interesting because I think a lot of times when people are talking about Mount Rushmores, they're thinking about like who is like the biggest stars and like. So like if you're thinking about biggest stars, obviously I would say like Cena, Rock, Austin, and Undertaker. But like in terms of like in-ring wrestlers, I think Bret Hart, Kurt Angle, Bryan Danielson, maybe Shawn Michaels or Eddie Guerrero. Like, I think those are best in-ring wrestlers. So I think there's a big difference between, like, yeah, in-ring or, like, stars when it comes to the Mount Rushmore. So, yeah.
So your ultimate goal would be?
Ultimate goal, obviously getting signed to a company would be great, but I really want to wrestle in Japan. I just want to go all over the world. I want to get paid to travel with wrestling. I think that's my just goal in general, is to be able to make a living off wrestling, I guess, and travel the world.
So would you say you're in tune with the Japanese wrestling? Would it be like more Nora or New Japan or all Japan? What would you pick? Or Dynamite? Which one would you pick? And because of the different styles, would you add to your styling?
Yeah, probably New Japan. I'm a big fan of the G1 Climax. I think that's always been so fascinating how they just wrestle, and it's like a big tournament. And like, I just think I love New Japan because like the styles, like you could see a match. Well, he's not there anymore, but you could see like a Will Ospreay match where him and Hiromu Takahashi are going insane with flips and stuff, and then you could see Tomohiro Ishii and Minoru Suzuki like just forearming, just battling it out. Like, that's why, kind of going back to earlier what I said, it's like all kinds of styles of wrestling, and I think that's why I think New Japan's very good at that.
So, do you see yourself being a babyface or a heel? What's your ultimate? What character you want to focus more time on? Because heels seems it's a lot easier for people to hate you than people to love you. But once you get that ultimate babyface and people to love you, which is the hardest thing for us in wrestling, you kind of hit the brass ring. So what do you see yourself as, a heel or a baby?
All right, here we go. Rockford's Damaging Pro Wrestling. It's our opening battle. We're in the Teamsters Hall in Rockford. St. Valentine's Hearts of Fire, and we're going to start off with a very spirited tag team attraction as the Black Sheep FXB, a very powerful, intimidating force inside of this ring with excellent high-impact offense, is going to look to shut down the youth movement around this scene. Big flip upside down. Balor's able to collect himself. It's an enziguri. FXB's been stunned for a moment. Was there a tag made or not? No, there wasn't. Spinning head scissors takeover. The Chicago Kid, Jack Balor, earned Cruiserweight Championship gold outside of this region in the Chicagoland area in record time. Himself, Eddie Grayson, have been working together as a tag team duo, and they've been delivering human highlight reels of impressive moments in not just pro wrestling and lucha libre in a very short period of time. Brand new to the scene, Eddie Grayson sending FXB for the ride, but he decides it's time for the storyteller to take his turn and to turn the page and rewrite the book. That is a book of all the stories that need to be told. Eldridge Shannon, look at the agility of this young man. He's got a lot of speed, a lot of quickness, and look at that shoulder tackle, nearly sending Storyteller out of the ring. All four of these individuals so fired up, black and red and white trim, and FXB imposing his will as Eddie Grayson is being totally decimated before our eyes right here. Look at the power. Easily scooping and slamming Eddie Grayson down onto the mat and putting him in a really dangerous position in the middle of the ring so that the storyteller can be dropped all across his chest as well. FXB using the storyteller as a weapon, but Eldridge Shannon couldn't score the win right there. This match continues. And look at the relentless attack, continuing to beat down and do damage to the limbs and the legs. If he wants to see Jack Balor take flight, they want to see Eddie Grayson demonstrate his great counters and reversals and his tenacity. But right now, it is a one-sided situation. And another, come on, Jack Balor getting super frustrated, now in the face of the official, and this gives an opportunity for FXB and the storyteller to take advantage, use this opportunity to weaken Eddie Grayson that much further. FXB FXB sending Grayson for the ride. Sunset flip, can he drag him down? He does, but a 2 count only. Grayson dizzy, disoriented. FXB with the grazing shot with the boot. Drops Grayson right into the wrong corner. FXB, very creative, innovative offense as he hits a back splash on the run. That can knock, everybody knows it. Grayson trying to fight back, fire back. Oh, for goodness sakes. Crazy hook. Storyteller gets a shot in as well. Back and forth. Everyone throwing heavy shots. But FXB, with the size advantage, continues to show why he is one of the most feared in Rockford Damaging tonight. Watch out, over the top, FXB lands on the apron. He's in a seated position right here. Crossbody, and they both crashed onto the ground below. What a devastating landing that was. Who took the word for that? Crowd showing genuine concern. They both hit hard onto this unforgiving ground below. It essentially is linoleum covered with paint.
I think I would rather be a babyface because I think it's very cool. You know, like as a kid, I would wait outside the WWE events and like you want to see your favorite wrestler. Like I think right now Cody Rhodes, like it's pretty incredible what he's doing, and like just I think it would be awesome just like having kids look up to me, like wearing my merch and stuff. Like so, I think a babyface I would rather prefer, but I'm not saying I wouldn't want to do a heel turn. I think heel would be very, very fun. I have done it before. So I think both are very fun, but if I had to pick one, I'd probably be babyface.
What's some of the baby faces in professional wrestling that inspired you to want to be a babyface?
Well, right now, obviously Cody Rhodes. Like I said, he's just like everybody loves him. John Cena, you know, with all the stuff he did with the Make-A-Wish Foundation. Like I think that's very, very cool. Yeah. Will Ospreay, I think, is also very good. And then like with heels, like MJF, like. He kind of inspires me to be like, it'd be pretty fun to be a dick like that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So that's kind of how I feel.
With wrestling now evolving, you don't really have to be a pure babyface or a heel. Look at Seth Rollins. He did not change his character, and he's considered a face.
I think it's also, I think now with wrestling, the crowd, they just kind of go with who they like for it. And I think that's good. I don't really like when the crowd kind of like when they tell you who to cheer for and who to boo for. I think it's unique when like it's pure crowd reaction, who they actually like, you know, fuck with and stuff like that. Like,
okay, this is the generic question I ask everyone. What match that you saw gave you that, oh, I want to become a wrestler? I know what you said before, but what match precisely said, I saw this match and like, oh, I'm inspired?
Well, I was already a wrestler when I saw it, but this match in general just kind of reunited my passion because I was actually there live. Will Ospreay versus Bryan Danielson from AEW Dynasty, it was called. Yeah, that match. That because like I said, I love professional wrestling. Like obviously the character work, like you know, getting over with a big character is cool, but like I think just when fans are reacting based off moves, because it's like a true art form, is the way I look at it. Like. They're doing crazy stuff, and the crowd is they're loving it. So that was one match that made me go like, I want this to be me one day.
Okay, this is another general question. What do you think is the biggest misconception about wrestling?
I think people calling it fake, because you know there is some fakeness, I guess you could say, to it, but we are putting our bodies on the line, and people do get hurt in this. So I think people saying it fake, and I also think. It's not a knock on anybody. I think the fans nowadays, especially nowadays, they think they know everything, and they don't. Like with the dirt sheets and stuff. Like there's some stuff I hear from other people, and I'm like, that's just not true at all. But you know, it is what it is. That's how I feel.
I think with fans' misconception that wrestling is predetermined, but it's what you guys do in there isn't fake. Like you guys put your body on the line all the time in the wrestling ring. A lot of big wrestlers got injured with Triple H with a broken collarbone, Randy Orton broken collarbone. Injuries can happen. Stone Cold with a broken neck. Anything can happen when you're in that ring. Yeah.
Yeah. So I agree with everything he just said.
So, the last 5 minutes, you could promote yourself. So what you're going to be in the because this is going to be out next Sunday. So anything after next Sunday. So promote yourself.
Yeah. I don't know about cutting a promo, but
You know what? Beforehand, I'm sorry. I have a better question. This is the question we ask everyone also. What do you think is more important? The look, the ability, or personality?
I think. I think they're all very important, but if I think the ability is very there, and I think the personality, because there's some people that, you know, they can do all the moves and like the crowd just doesn't care. I think it has to, you know, you have to put you got to put yourself into it. Like you got to relate to everybody else. That's kind of probably personality. Yeah.
Outstanding.
Hogan was known for that. Hogan, he had his whole personality. His in-ring wasn't that great, but his personality got over. I think that's great. I think that's great for a wrestler's personality for sure. Yeah.
So now I ask the question. Now promote yourself. The last 5 minutes, just promote the living hell out of yourself.
Yeah. So if anybody wants to find my socials, it's Eddie Grayson _PW on Instagram, Eddie Grayson on Facebook, on YouTube. If you just search up Eddie Grayson Pro Wrestler, you can find some of my matches to watch. I have Twitter as well, which is also Eddie Grayson PW. So yeah, those are all my social medias. I post everything where I'll be at coming up, and I'm actually in the works of developing a website, I think, where you'll have access to like my schedule and my merch and stuff like that. So yeah, just keep on the lookout. If any of you have any of those apps, and just find me there. Thank you guys very much. Thank you.
We got something else next. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, another episode of Just Turn Heel. We have
The Boomstick 12 gauge.
The Hype Beast Hunter Holdcraft.
and what's your name of the tag team?
We are the Hype.
Outstanding.
Tonight in their tag team TSW debut.
You're all here for us, so you can all shut your mouth.
Kyle's got a big personality for a man that may not be all that big in stature. How we doing, TSW? Oh, you want to talk about hype? A couple of young men who grew up together, came up together in training, and are now seeing big heights in professional wrestling together. They've been inseparable since high school. And these 23-year-old young studs are just hitting their prime. Recently recapturing the Dreamwave Wrestling Tag Team Championships in a violent ladder match.
Introducing to my right, hailing from Detroit, Michigan, they are the Duck Club, Brian Mathias and KJ Reynolds. And to my left, hailing from Pascal, Illinois, the Hype Hunter 12 gauge, the Hype Beast Hunter Holdcraft.
Well, we saw 12 Gauge and Hunter Holdcraft, an important part of TSW singles division in our inaugural season a year ago, but we have not seen a lot of them as a tag team as of yet. We saw them defeat the Tragedy Boys, Gaston LaRue, and Percy Drews in the month of February in Batesville. And as I mentioned, they've done some great tag team work together in their hometown of LaSalle, Illinois. We'll see if the ground attack of Hunter Holdcraft can stand true against Ryan Mathias. I think that the Hype is truly a great example of the old cliche, the whole is greater than the sum of the parts. Hunter and 12 Gauge have always been great. They've always had great promise and potential. But together, I think they're in a different category. Mathias controls the wrist. And up with a fireman's carry. Hunter Holdcraft, a rich, deep amateur background. Back to high school and college. And looking for an ankle lock in the early going. Matthias panics. But it gets him to the rope quickly. And well, KJ's concerned about his buddy.
No, I'm sick of you.
His dub buddy.
I want help. Me? I want help. You guys want to talk, Gaige? Me? No.
And Matthias, maybe thinking 12 gauge is the quicker path to that dub. Dub meaning W if you're not aware at home. I understand nobody at home would want to talk to Matthias and KJ either, so maybe you're not aware. 12 gauge tag team, now blind tag made as Matthias looking to outsmart 12 gauge KJ Reynolds, the quick roll up. And what? A couple of leapfrogs, snooker style by Reynolds, but got cut off at the pass by 12 gauge. The two quicker members of their respective teams. Explosive offense from 12 gauge as he catches KJ Reynolds to the back kick and tags back in Hunter Holdcraft. All-state in high school was Hunter as an amateur wrestler, as KJ gets chopped down at the knee and hit from all sides by the Hype. And into the cover, 2 count only. The Hype wrestle the way they party, the way they pregame, the way they warm up. It's constant energy everywhere you turn.
Let's see it, Hunter. Let's see it.
Oh, I thought I heard something else. So basically, we will ask you questions. What got you into wrestling and stuff like that? Because it has a tag team, we're going to ask questions more like tag teams. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's awesome.
Okay. So what tag teams influenced you?
I think so. The one thing that with us that's different is we like to do that fast-paced offense where it's boom, 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 but be very unique. Some things that inspired me of going this is like a DIY or Red Dragon or Motor City Machine Gun from my eyes, but we like it how he's more of the slam guy. He's more of that catch and throw. I'm more of the I'm gonna throw my body out there and do all the high-risk stuff and take the chances. So I would say those tag teams are probably the closest that we would think of.
I would say so. Like, we had this dynamic, like he just said. I'm more of the catch and throw, and he's more of the fast-paced, fast striker, goes up top, does the cross bodies. Like, I think that dynamic kind of sets us apart from other tag teams. So it's kind of hard for us to kind of draw influences because we have such a unique dynamic that it's hard. But we do draw from those tag teams that you just mentioned. Plus, too, like one of our favorite tag teams of all time, DX. We have really high influence from those guys, all the charisma that they have. So those are pretty much our biggest influences.
So that leads to the next question. So which wrestlers, like you said, the different like the tag teams you just stated, but give me an example on why you like them. Like I know you said DX, but other tag teams, like you said DIY. Mm-hmm. So what of their qualities do you like? You said Red Dragon.
So with like DIY and Red Dragon, the one thing with Red Dragon is I like their like martial arts style, which is kind of not with us, but he's like more of the wrestling aspect, and I like how fast paced and all just different quickness of their offense. So for instance, like you'll see Kyle O'Reilly hit a kick, then Bobby Fish hit a kick, then a strike, boom, boom, and they go back and forth, and that's what we base most of our offense off of is that quick boom, 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 boom. And then just DIY for me. I've been a really big Tommaso Ciampa fan my entire life. So like when I started tag team wrestling with Hunter, they were the first people I just went to. And I've just always been clicked to Tommaso. So watching DIY and just admiring their tag team wrestling made us together.
They also have like a dynamic to where they have different styles too. So like, just like seeing how they can mesh their two styles of wrestling together helps us like get ideas for what we can do to have our styles mesh together and just blend well.
Outstanding. Now this is my general question, and I'm going to make it specialized because what do you think is your Mount Rushmore for tag teams?
Ooh, that's
the first tier.
That's a good question.
That's for tag teams. That's so tricky. Because if we're going actually tag teams,
yes.
God, see the one thing like. I'm biased towards like DX, but I don't even say they're kind of a tag team. I would say they're more of a faction,
like two guys together. Towards the back half, they're more of a tag team, but that was
Yeah, they won the tag team titles during their back half.
right. But like, I wouldn't say that they were a tag team of sorts.
So I would say some of them, just because now like wrestling's kind of changed with the modernization. And I think if you go to like, one of them is like the prime Young Bucks, in my opinion. When they were in their prime at one point, they were like very...
Yeah, you could not get your eyes off of their matches. Your eyes were glued to the screen every time you watched them.
That's
so.
what, FTR.
For sure.
FTR is a huge tag team.
Yes, they actually brought back like the old school style of tag team wrestling. So like they really liked like Bret Hart and the Hart Foundation. Like those are what those guys are based off of. So I mean, you can throw the Hart Foundation in the mix there. Like even the old school guys like Demolition. I would put those two on my Mount Rushmore actually of tag teams, just because of you didn't really see tandem offense back then. So like seeing that style of wrestling back then, and then even the influence that it had on wrestling today, I think that's what puts them on the Mount Rushmore.
Connor Hopkins. Uh-oh.
Hunter Holdcraft and 12 Gaige.
Well, I'll tell you what. You talk about a home crowd favorite. You talk about a home field advantage. These two young men have it. 12 Gaige and Hunter Holdcraft. Two young men who have taken the wrestling world by storm in the last couple of years, Kyle.
Yeah, both of these men might not have the experience, but as you said, they have the hometown advantage. Is that going to be enough to push them over the edge in the opening contest of what may be the biggest Dreamwave show ever?
Certainly, all eyes are on you right out of the chute. We'll see if these two young men can step up to the task.
You want to talk about a young man with a tremendous upside. Hunter, I'm telling you, he is brand new in this business. The sky is the limit for him inside of the ring.
Of course, 12 Gaige's tag team partner, same damn thing, Kyle. He is
absolutely.
Both these young men, tremendous upsides. These two are ready for action.
I'm ready for action. This is going to be fantastic.
Opening contest here at Dreamwave Wrestling presents Nevermore here at the Knights of Columbus building in LaSalle. It looks like it's going to be 12 Gaige and Connor Hopkins starting things off here.
Well, not only do the Coyotes have the experience advantage, they've got the numbers advantage.
Absolutely. You saw the rest of the Coyotes, Damian Deschain and Brooks Berna, accompanied Hopkins and Rose to the outside. Here we go. Nice headlock takeover by 12 Gaige to open this up. Uh-oh. Lifted up. Oh, and a nice roll through, though.
Yeah, and speaking of the numbers advantage, it's going to be every man for himself in the main event tonight, the Good as Gold Rumble.
Absolutely. Well, don't forget all four of the Coyotes are part of that match. And uh-oh, some push-ups, if you will, from Connor Hopkins here.
What's going to happen if all four of the Coyotes are in the ring at the same time?
It's going to be a takeover of epic proportions here. Whoa, look out. Look at 12 Gaige. Both men back off to their respective corners.
See, I'm such a fan, I got to stop myself from applauding into the microphone.
I know, right? All right, now here we go. Headlock takeover by Connor Hopkins.
I don't want to call a man who's been wrestling as long as Christian Rose the best kept secret, but he might be the best kept secret in independent wrestling.
I'll tell you what, you talk about a guy who's been there and done it. Christian
absolutely.
Rose. And he's taken these three young Coyotes under his wing, under his tail maybe, but either way.
I don't want to be under that tail.
Oh, no. Uh-oh. 12 Gaige coming in off the ropes. Connor swings and misses wildly. Nice duck underneath. Cartwheel from 12 Gaige, and he says, come on. Look at the look on Hopkins' face.
Well, and he does come on.
Look at this. Back and forth. Leap.
Wow.
And a nice drop kick from 12 Gaige. And Connor Hopkins is beside himself. He does not know what to think.
Well, if you get to know both of these guys, Connor Hopkins and Christian Rose, both of these guys are highly intelligent inside and outside of the ring. They're not going to rush head fast into anything that's going to get them screwed up.
Well, the tag was made. Here comes the big bad Coyote.
And if you've been following Rose on Instagram, he has been in the gym 24/7 the past month.
Yeah, and here's a young man who also has been. Look at Hunter Holdcraft. And you hear the hometown crowd firmly behind this young man.
Well, and for good reason, man. Holdcraft is great. Again, very new inside of the ring. The sky is the limit for his future. But oh, did you hear that? Rose said, I've been wrestling longer than you've been alive.
Disrespect. And look at Hunter Holdcraft.
Double leg takedown.
Going to that amateur style, and it's working. Whoa, rolls through, shoulders down. Kick out at one by Rose. Rose might be caught off guard here. Look at this. Plants him.
Did you just hear Rose scream like a girl?
How often do you hear that? Oh, cover, Rose. Rose kicks out at one off the cover. That amateur wrestling style from Holdcraft.
Look at that!
Look at this! Rolling through kit 1 count only again.
Rose,
Rose has to finally. Whoa, my God!
belly to belly, Magnum TA style.
Hunter Holdcraft. Oh, look out! Hopkins tried to run interference. Here comes 12 gauge, and now here comes the Whoa! Chop block and a kick to the head. Oh! Big elbow.
You saw a buzzsaw kick and a European uppercut to the back of the head.
I'll tell you what, these two are feeding off. Oh, no.
Now there's the
Coyotes.
numbers game. There's the numbers game I was talking about. Holdcraft distracted.
And look at. Oh, my God, what a lariat. Good God. Nearly took his head right off his shoulders.
Well, like I said, I think the Coyotes underestimated the ability of Holdcraft and Gaige.
I think you're right. Oh, my God, look at this. Oh. Rose has Holdcraft by the ear.
Right.
Has him by the ear.
He's saying, hey, kid, you want to be an amateur wrestler? Here's some cauliflower ear.
Oh. Uh-oh. Oh!
Sweet mother of God, that chop.
Woo! Had some stank on that, if you will.
Has some gravy on that chop.
Oh, look out. Hopkins holding.
Oh! Good night.
Faked the chop, went with the straight right.
Straight shot to the jaw. I have seen men go down from less than that. My God.
Absolutely. And now here comes Connor Hopkins, the handsome Coyote, taking things over here. Whoa! Big boot in the corner. And look at that, even has time to fix his hair.
You saying the Christian ain't handsome?
Well, he's got that rugged way about him.
I see you're more of a GQ guy.
Oh, goodness, the boot. And Hunter Holdcraft.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, elbow drop from Rose. Oh, and a kick out at 2 by Holdcraft.
And I tell you, I talked about following Rose on Instagram, on Facebook, how he's been inside of the gym. I can tell a distinct difference in Christian Rose's body from 2 months ago till now.
I'll tell you what, Christian Rose, a guy who always keeps himself in tip-top shape, but even more so leading up to this. He's got to be in the Good as Gold Rumble later tonight as well. We'll see where he ends up, but meanwhile, they got to take care of these two young gents in 12 gauge and Hunter Holdcraft. Tag made, Hopkins back in. Oh! Straight right again.
Hopkins, a former Zawa Live champion. Hopkins, no stranger to the main event.
Look at this, rolls it through, comes back through. Oh, and a thump to the eye, jeez.
Well, that thumb to the eye might be more effective than a monkey flip or anything else you can do from that position.
You make a good point there, Kyle. Whoa, and out of the ring goes Holdcraft. Oh, no, come on. Look at this, the Coyotes on the outside. Brooks Berna and Damian Deschain are having their way with Holdcraft out there.
Well, classic tag team wrestling there. And I tell you, Ref Dev is not new,
but on cover here, boot to chest. At Holdcraft kicks out at 2.
Ref Dev is not new to this business, but when
hold on cover again, and Holdcraft kicks out at 2 again.
You can't keep your eye on 6 guys at once.
No, you certainly can, especially with the kind of tactics the Coyotes pull. Tag made once again. Christian Rose back in as the legal man.
What does that show you? They cut the ring in half.
Yes, oh, big forearm.
Quick tags.
Look at this. Whoa.
Straight jacket.
Ooh. Oh, and head first off that turnbuckle. Oh, and the double boot.
Look at who they isolated. They isolated the youngest guy in the ring.
Uh-oh. Something tells me he's not carrying him. Oh, my God.
Wow.
Not carrying him over the threshold, but right onto the back of the head. And Rose into the cover. Holdcraft kicks out at 2 again.
Reminded me of my wedding night for a minute there.
Okay. Meanwhile, Christian Rose again. I'll tell you what. Holdcraft in a bad way here, Kyle. He's going to have to do something.
He's got to get to the other end of that ring, but they're making sure it's not going to happen. And I'm not just talking about the guys in the ring.
Yeah, no kidding. And now over here to the other corner. Hopkins working on Holdcraft here again. The Coyotes do such a great job cutting that ring in half.
And here we go again.
Look out. Oh, big spear.
Wow, look at the torque on that.
Oh, but look at Holdcraft.
Desperation, explosive clothesline out of the corner. This is Holdcraft's chance.
He's got to make a tag. 12 gauges, fresh, and look at that. He's ready.
12 gauge is a house of fire.
Come on, kid. You got to get in the corner. Make the tag.
Come on, reach for it.
He got it. Tag is made. Here we go. 12 gauge Rose. Look at 12 Gauge knocking Hopkins off the apron. Sends
Oh!
him off into the corner. Oh, look out. Baseball slide clothesline.
That was beautiful.
Takes out, look at He's cleaning house, taking out the Coyotes. Called 12 Gauge the poacher here. Whoa, 619 around the post.
That was beautiful. 12 Gauge
He
is
is not stopping.
cleaning house. He's unbelievable here.
Uh-oh, he's going up top. Air is rare. He's gonna fly. Crossbody.
Count him.
Into
One,
the cover.
two.
Oh, and Hopkins saves it at the last second.
That was so close, I can't even tell if Hopkins saved it or if Christian was able to get his shoulder up.
Oh, I didn't, but look at 12 Gauge now backing Connor into the corner.
Well,
Here comes Holdcraft back in.
I don't know if Holdcraft's fresh enough to do this.
I don't know. Oh!
It looks like he's not.
Sit down, say the Coyotes. Tell you what, they say Coyotes are the most dangerous in packs, and let me tell you, those damn Coyotes are proving that time and again.
You're absolutely right about that, the numbers
Uh-oh.
game.
Whoa, what are we thinking here? Oh, wait a minute. Holdcraft taking it to Hopkins, and now a sleeper from 12 Gauge. 12 Gauge has got Rose in the sleeper.
In the middle of the ring, there's nowhere to go.
Come on. Sink it in with all you've got, kid. Come on, backing in.
Yeah, but 12
Tag
Gauge is
is
still
made.
holding on. Oh, you're right, the tag was made.
Oh, no! Oh, and Rose just kind of used 12 Gauge as kind of a battering ram.
So do we have the legal man on the outside?
Yes, I think. And look at, meanwhile, 12 Gauge hooking it, trying to get it hooked. Oh, and a step-up enziguri from Hopkins.
Beautiful and violent right there.
Oh, no. And now Rose, the double-leg Boston Crab.
But he's the illegal man. He can't tap, and Ref Dev is trying to tell Christian Rose, hey, the
Look out
tag
from
has been
behind.
made.
Look out, it's Holdcraft. Whoa. He's got him up. And a German bridges it. 2. Oh, and Hopkins with the double stomp.
That would have been a 3 if Hopkins hadn't come in. Hopkins over the top, and he's down.
Oh, my God. Hopkins out of the ring. 12. Oh,
my
Rose
God.
rather with a straight right. And now here comes Holdcraft. What a power slam.
Beautiful.
Big snap power slam from Holdcraft.
Well, thank goodness Ref Dev is keeping track of who's legal, because I can't.
Yeah, no kidding. You and I either.
That was an absolutely beautiful deadlift German suplex by Holdcraft. I mean, that was immeasurable strength there.
Absolutely. Now everybody's down. I'm not sure here. Somebody's got to get up for this to continue. Look at Rose is on his hands and knees. 12 Gauge now.
Well, now's the time for 12 Gauge to strike.
Ooh, chop to the... Uh-oh. Oh!
I don't know if I want to get in a strike battle with Christian Rose.
That's a battle you're going to lose 11 times out of 10. Oh, 12 Gauge getting... Look at this.
Oh!
We're going back and forth. Machine gun chops from 12 Gauge and machine gun from Rose.
God.
Right back.
I need some earplugs.
These two are going to need new chests.
Good God almighty. Strikes to the face. Throwing bones.
This is a bar fight.
This is crazy.
Look at 12 Gauge. He's not backing down.
Hell no.
Oh, and the straight right from Rose.
Well, and...
Oh, but a super kick from 12 Gauge. Uh-oh. Can he get him up? He's got him up. Look at this. Go.
Death Valley driver. He's got to go for the pin. 12 Gauge not going for the pin.
No, he's gonna go upstairs.
Well, we're going to see if that was the smartest decision.
Can he fly?
Well, we know he can fly.
Whoa, nobody home, and he rolls right through it. Oh!
Good God almighty, that
What
is
a
it.
boot.
That is it.
Oh, and sends Holdcraft away.
We have seen Christian Rose put away many men with that big boot. That's got to be it.
It's Connor Hopkins now.
Oh, my God.
Look out. Oh, my. Oh, my God. Look out. Oh! Teamwork makes the dream work.
Splash Mountain neckbreaker combo. Go for the pin, for God's sake.
There it is. And that's it. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Oh, my God. 12 Gauge. 12 Gauge got the cover. They won it.
What just happened?
Outstanding. Now, this is another general question. I almost forgot to ask this question, but I'm going to ask this. What do you think is the most important aspect of wrestling? The ability, personality or the look?
So I think the one thing with wrestling, and this goes for everything that makes wrestling, is that connection with the crowd. I think because you come out, the first thing they're going to see is how you look and what theme is yours. They're going to see it's everything, the aspect, and how you come out and your energy, how you connect with them, and what energy you're giving off, they're going to give back to you. So I think that crowd connection is probably the number one thing in wrestling that you need, because if the crowd's not there, then what are we doing out there? You know?
Right. Yeah, and then like either if you have that connection with the crowd based off of your moveset or your personality, which I mean it all meshes together. So like I wouldn't say there's really one that is most important. You have to have a little bit of all of it in order to make it work. Because I've seen guys that look great and then they just don't do it in the ring. You know, like you see it all the time. So I would say, not to kind of twist your question at all, but like it's really hard to put one aspect and make it the most important, because you have to have all of it to do what we do. Actually, so that's.
So I got a hard one for you guys. What is your all-time favorite tag team match?
All-time favorite tag match. So that's really hard. For one of them that I always will go to, that I've always thought was amazing, and it's a decently modern one, but it's one that like I watched and I was like, holy cow, like this is insanely good. And one of them for me is the Usos versus the Bar.
Yeah.
That was a really good tag match that I did not expect to be really good.
I mean, I would say one of mine is Hangman and Kenny Omega versus the Young Bucks at Revolution. What year was that? 2000?
That was, I think, 2020 or 2021.
Something like that, yeah. Like, yeah, 21. That great storytelling, great moves, like, kept you captivated in the entire match the entire time, and that's what I want out of tag team wrestling. And also, too, like we talked about, Hangman and Kenny Omega, two guys with two different styles of wrestling, bringing it together and making it work. That's what we do best, and that's like that was a huge influence for what we do. So I mean, I would say that's probably one of my favorite tag team matches of all time.
That's a match that I'm watching where I was like, wow, I don't know when this is gonna end. I don't know, like in my head I'm watching it, I'm just like, and when it's gonna end. I'm believing all this false finish is insane.
One of the greatest matches are ones where you can't predict what's gonna happen. Yeah. It suspends your belief. And that was one of those matches where I was just like, I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm going to enjoy every single second of it.
Okay, I just pulled this out of my head right now. What tag team tandem move do you think is one of the best things you've ever seen?
Ooh, what tag team move? Way to put there.
Red Dragon, high-low is probably one of the best.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's quick. It's quick. You can do it out of nowhere. Like they do it really well, and they have good synchronization with it.
Stop into the wheelbarrow.
The hyperdrive.
The hyperdrive.
That is
really nice.
Yes.
Thank you. That's our favorite thing to hit. We love that.
That's
our favorite.
That's our bread and butter right there. We love that move.
Outstanding.
I mean,
that's a really tricky one.
Yes, I'm an asshole.
You got us with this one.
I mean,
man.
One of them, for me, I know I love watching DIY, and this is, again, I'm a Ciampa guy. The super kick in the knee from Gargano and Ciampa, the big rig from FTR.
The big rig is a good one.
That's, to me, I always like, that's out of nowhere.
Don't take this the wrong way. I would think you're more of a Johnny Gargano fan. You have the look and your wrestling ability.
That's what everybody says. Yeah, everybody calls me that.
I call him Mini Gargano all the time.
A lot of him in the ring.
That's what literally everybody says that. So you don't need to be offended. I'll take that as a compliment. That's a compliment.
So,
not my partner, man.
Okay, this is going to be up next Sunday. So the last 5 minutes, promote the living shit out of you guys. You could tell anything what you're going to.
Actually, I got one more question for Hunter.
Yeah.
So Hunter, last time we were here, you were a heel and you were damn good at it. Why do you think that wrestlers, the wrestling type gimmick, gets that heat? Like Chad Gable, Kurt Angle. Why do you think they get that kind of heat?
It's just because they can ground and pound and be the best wrestler without having to be charismatic. I mean, being an amateur wrestler, having an amateur wrestling background, like I know how to keep people down and not have them do their flashy offense or whatever the heck they want to do. So like, knowing that I can do that And the crowd hates it for me being a better wrestler than the other guy, so be it. You know what I mean? So, like, I think that's why it just makes it easier because, I mean, I can just keep them down and not have them do their flashy moves. I mean, that's pretty much it, you know? Yeah. It makes it more believable that I can just keep them down and hold them there, you know? Yep. And just have them not do what the fans want them to do. I think that's how it makes it easier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, now promote the living show, you guys.
So if you want to see more of the hype, first off, follow him at Hunter Holdcraft 22 on Instagram.
Hunter Hold 22 on Instagram
22.
and Twitter.
Okay, for me, 12Gaige_wrestles, and that's GAIGE for Gaige. Same thing with Twitter. Check us out on Tri-State Wrestling, Dreamwave Wrestling, Hybrid Championship Wrestling, Zawa Live Wrestling, Wrestlepunkz. We're going to be here a lot. And go follow us on all those social medias and just keep up because the hype train keeps on rolling and rolling and rolling. I'm going to tell you what, every single week we're somewhere new. So make sure to follow us and know where we're at.
Outstanding.